Good evening and welcome to the Monday, August 3rd, 2026 meeting of the Sacramento Youth Commission. The meeting is now called to order. Will the clerk please call roll to establish a quorum?
Yes, thank you, Chair. And before we call the roll, we have one message for today. So today's meeting is being streamed on YouTube in English and Spanish. Please note that live captioning and translations are AI generated and may contain errors. So now we'll move forward with the roll call. Commissioners, if you can all please unmute your microphones. Commissioner Sista,
Present.
Commissioner Chicheri,
Present.
Commissioner Rowland is absent. Commissioner Bernardo, absent. Commissioner Corliss is absent. Commissioner Nikita,
Present.
Commissioner Chan,
Present.
Commissioner Turk is absent. Commissioner Avila,
Present.
Commissioner Wong,
Present.
Commissioner Longmire,
Present.
Commissioner Rupari,
Present.
Commissioner Gounder is absent. Commissioner Sahota,
Present.
and Chair Rios.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Before we begin, a brief reminder for members of the public in attendance. Speaker slips are to be submitted digitally. You can register to speak by scanning the QR code posted at the back of the chambers or through the kiosk. Submissions must be received prior to the item being called. Once the item is called, public comment will be closed. Each speaker will be allowed 2 minutes to speak. We will now proceed with today's agenda. Please rise if you are able for the opening acknowledgements in honor of Sacramento's indigenous people and tribal lands. To the original people of this land, the Nisenan people, the Southern Maidu, Valley, Plains, Miwok, Putwin, Wintun peoples, and the people of the Wilton Rancheria, Sacramento's only federally recognized tribe. May we acknowledge and honor the Native people who came before us and still walk beside us today on these ancestral lands by choosing to gather together today in the active practice of acknowledgement and appreciation for Sacramento's indigenous people's history, contributions, and lives. Thank you. Land acknowledgement. Please rise for the opening. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is the approval of the consent calendar. Are we doing the removal now or before?
Yes, we can do that now.
Okay. And so, do you want to announce it? Yeah.
Okay. Before we do the consent calendar, I just want to notate that discussion item 3, the aquatics annual update reports, this item is being withdrawn.
Clerk, are there any members of the public who wish to speak on the consent calendar?
Thank you. We have no speakers for the consent.
Are there any commissioners who wish to speak on this item? Okay. Is there a motion and a second for the consent calendar?
I motion. However, I would like to request for an edit on the previous follow-up log.
Okay.
There is a mistake on one of the comments I made. I asked to have a presentation from the organization SEVAs, which is a media and video program, but I just saw that there's a small error on their acronym. It's supposed to be SEVA. There is SAVA. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll notate that.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Chitari and then a second by Commissioner Soda. Okay, all in favor, please, everyone unmute your mics, and then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Okay, perfect. The motion passes. We will now proceed to the discussion calendar. Item number, number 1 should be so now it's number 4. So it's Youth Workforce Development Fiscal Year 24-25.
Good evening. I'm just waiting for the materials to be queued up. It should be the video. Is there any sound with this? So good evening, commissioners and city staff. I'm excited to be here tonight to talk to you more about the YPSI Youth Workforce Development Division and our operations. I want to share a quote to you from one of our program participants. Something I enjoyed the most about the Young Leaders of Tomorrow program, or we call YLOT, is getting to know everybody and sharing my ideas. This is from a young person from 10 to 12 years old. That is the age group that we work with in this program. The Youth Workforce Development Unit offers a range of youth vocational training and employment programs providing young people 10 to 24 years of age with safe experiences that are fostering their development into healthy, engaged, and productive adults. The goals of the program include improvements in early adult outcomes, such as education, economic self-sufficiency, healthy family and social relationships, as well as positive contributions to the community. During fiscal year 25, stipend-based programming was offered in all 8 of the council districts at the various community centers operated by YPSI. So that includes District 1 through 8. Everybody had a program offered at least one time at those community centers. Over 750 young people completed stipend-based programming that included Young Leaders of Tomorrow, Primetime Teen, Junior Rec Aid, and the North Natomas Workforce Development Programs. All of those are stipend-based. Youth are able to learn a variety of life skills that are transferable into the day-to-day challenges of life. Another quote, in Primetime Teen, I learned how to organize and keep the community service project team motivated and working. I like meeting new people and being in a new safe space. At the conclusion of the fiscal year, 35 program cohorts tallied 8,900 hours where participants were in a safe space engaging in the development of positive relationship with caring adults and peers. The Landscape and Learning and WIOA programs are employment opportunities for young people where many are having their very first job experience. L&L crews are seen out at various parks throughout the city during the summer, fall, and spring seasons. They're supporting many of the park maintenance service needs. You probably saw them out there during the summer at your local parks. They're out there all week in the heat like they are. If you attend any of the annual 916 or Earth Day projects, you would have been seeing firsthand these amazing young people. The youth aides hired through the WIOA, or Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act program, which is in partnership with SETA, the Sacramento Employment and Training Agency, would have been seen at a variety of community centers as they're employed and support youth camp. They may be building monitors, cashiers, or even at local businesses. Fiscal year 25 showcased 43,284 hours of combined work hours for those youth employment opportunities, with a total of $714,186 of youth investment in wages. That is money directly into the hands of young people. One aspect of the WIO experience that stood out to me was the ability of career advice and resume workshops. These were useful for understanding the current job market and setting my plans. Again, another quote from a young person. I am proud to share that many of the youth that participate in our programs don't just stop at one, but they progress through programming in their tween and teenage years into adulthood. So like we talk about the cradle to career concept. We are now witnessing youth aides from L&L coming back as crew leaders because they want to give back to the program and the community that shaped them into the positive and caring adults they are. The demand and diversity of youth workforce development programming continues to increase and be reflective of the communities in which we serve. The data is collected, and at the conclusion of each program through a program quality assessment tool called Tell It Like It Is survey, we ask the young people to provide feedback on their experience and express their personal views of themselves and the program. Based on the PQA results, 86% of the youth surveyed agreed or strongly agree that they are confident that they can secure employment on their own and successfully getting a job. So thank you for this opportunity to highlight the Youth Workforce Development Unit. On the slide that we have up, and it's also in your staff report, it reflects the past 3 years as it relates to our Youth Workforce Development Program participants. And looking at it, each of our programs have basically continued to increase in participation. We also have demographics broken down by gender, and then also race and ethnicity. And this information is all pulled from the Tell It Like It Is survey. So this is information that a young person provides, so it's their voice. It's not us telling who they are, what they are, any of those types of things. It's actually from the survey that we conduct at the conclusion of each program cycle. We do this with our our paid L&L and WIOA, along with our stipend-based programs. And I also want to share the video that you saw really speaks volume to the diversity and the importance of the programming in which we do. I don't think there was a sad face in any of those pictures. Everybody was having a good time. And not only that, the staff that are there, they're there for a reason. Many of the staff that work in youth workforce development programs had that mentor, had that person that was on their side. And really, they're looking at giving back and being part of change for a young person. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Clerk, are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this item?
Thank you. We have no speakers for this item.
Okay, perfect. We'll go to Commissioner Soda.
Hi, thank you so much for giving us another update on this. I don't necessarily have a question for you, but I make an effort to kind of comment on everyone that comes out here and spends their time kind of presenting to us. So I just wanted to say, first off, it's great that we're utilizing spaces within Sacramento to aid and help youth. I know you mentioned like all the age districts at least once had something for youth running and operating, and I think that's amazing because the more that we pour into the young people of our city, the more they'll want to pour into our city back. So for example, like with the programs that you mentioned, with the quotes that you mentioned, you can really tell that these kids had like a profound impact by participating in these programs. And they'll grow up and maybe they'll move out of the city, but they'll always remember the efforts and they'll always remember the intention behind those programs. And they may come back, and what we want, or what I can assume that we'd like, is for other young people to be inspired to also make similar changes. So when they grow up and when they enter the workforce officially, using the guidance that they were given through these programs, they'll be able to look back and be like, wow, Sacramento really helped me figure out who I am as a person and what kind of worker I am. So yeah, I thank you for all the efforts that you continue to make, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you, of course. And I failed to mention, but a percentage of our youth participants continue their employment opportunity with the city, so they take the skills that they learn through these programs. And some of you that are sitting up here actually have been through some of our stipend programs, and you've taken those skills and you have done the next step, and you may be hired with the city, or you may be sitting as a commissioner. We actually have a variety of young people that have promoted from a youth aide, that's a classification in which we have, and they become recreation aides. They may now, we have one that is becoming a cashier out at North Natomas at the Aquatic Center. We have young people that are now building monitors. And like mentioned in the presentation, we have youth aides that were prior youth aides when they were 14 to 17 years of age that have now come back and they are crew leaders. They want to provide the same positive experience for a young person because they feel a connection to that program. And so it's really awesome to be able to see kind of that full circle. And I think it's an exciting opportunity to be able to provide those opportunities. And we truly, our staff really truly advocates for young people. Youth voice and choice is really something that we hold dear.
Any other commissioners? Commissioner Rowland? Oh.
Oh, sorry,
I
yeah.
was like, Commissioner, go ahead.
Yeah, first question, I just had a question. How are you guys like advertising to the districts? Like, how are you guys connecting with the youth? Is it mainly, from social media with, each workforce development's Instagram pages, right? Or like, are you guys targeting like, in schools, like, tabling, like, doing presentations? Could you give us more detail about that, please?
All of the above.
All of the above.
So we utilize our social media marketing team, and we have Instagram, Facebook, we have our webpage, but we also have connections to our schools. So we are sharing the information. We also do tabling at the schools, maybe at lunchtime, maybe there's a job fair, maybe there's an event. We also try our best to be at special events that are being promoted by the council offices or maybe by YPSI. But a lot of the time, our team is actually implementing program. So there's not a lot of downtime. So we do rely a lot on the word of mouth too. Because we know that we can share the information. We have wait lists. This past summer, one of our sites had a wait list of over 100 people. So we try to get as many young people into these slots. I don't think that we've had a program, at least our stipend-based programs, that haven't had a wait list.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that word of mouth is pretty powerful too.
Great, thank you. And I also have a second question. I mean, I'm not sure if you would have a, direct answer for this, but I was just like looking through all this data, and I don't know, like, it just like, I couldn't help but notice that District 4, like compared to other districts, they just like, relatively had like the lowest amount of participants. So like, would you know a reason to why that is, or anything that we can do to try to get these numbers up? Because like if you look at Young Leaders of Tomorrow, District 1 had 72 enrolled, 58 complete. There was District 5 with 30, District 2 had 31, District 3 has 36, but District 4 had only 7 enrolled.
Some of it is when you look at the recruitment that happens, sometimes areas have more opportunities for themselves. Meaning that they don't have the time or the ability to enroll into some of these programs. And so you'll see some of the areas that are more underserved do have a larger population that are enrolling into the programs. It's also dependent on the location too. Not everybody is able to get from one location to another. So that is something that we still strive to increase our enrollment numbers across all of the districts, but you do see lower numbers in some of the districts.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Sisto?
Hi, I wanted to thank you, first of all, for coming up here and presenting this information to us. I think it's very, like, across today's youth generation, like, unemployment is a really common issue nowadays, so it's really relieving to see that we have such workforce programs available for our youth. And I also remember during high school, like a really large group of my friends would participate in a bunch of these programs. And so I'm really happy that we have this and you guys are working on it. I also did have a small clarifying question that I'd like to ask. I know that for all these programs, they have summer, or they have like summer cohorts. But I wanted to ask, are all these programs just like summer seasonal programs, or do they happen year round?
So we have year-round programming that have seasons.
Okay.
So landscape and learning, you have a summer, fall, and spring season, where we hire for each of those seasons. We do recruitment specifically targeted for that program cycle. For our primetime teen, we have 4 cohorts that happen during the summer. During the fall, we have 2 cohorts. During the winter, we have 2 cohorts. And then during the spring, we have 2 cohorts. So we have a total of 10 throughout that fiscal year. Young Leaders of Tomorrow has 2 cohorts during the summer, 4 cohorts during the fall, because we have a fall 1 and a fall 2. And then they do not have another one until spring. They have 2 cohorts. And the reason we do that is during the winter sessions, we actually are running junior rec aid, which is an opportunity for that team actually trains young people to learn how to become a recreation aide. So they have some tools, because many of the young people don't have some of the skills. They haven't been trained. They haven't been exposed to it. So we utilize it as an opportunity to go through that session and then apply for recreation aid jobs that are coming up for the summer. So we try to piggyback off of that. Our North Natomas program, it is a focused program area for 8 specific apartment complexes. The funding is in partnership with the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency. And those cohorts we do one cohort. Our goal is one summer, fall, winter, and spring. But we also do, like every other week, Friday workshops. That's our underlying goal. We've had some challenges because we've had staffing turnovers, but we're really running year-round, but in seasons. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I got it. And it's wonderful to hear that it's like year-round instead of just having it be over the summer. So then it's more accessible as well, that way as well. But thank you so much.
Commissioner Sisto. Commissioner Sohoda.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really loved hearing the other commissioners' questions as well. I do have a slight question. So I noticed that there's like a variety of different youth that kind of go into this program, and it reflects, I think, Sacramento as a whole. We are incredibly diverse, and that's one of our strong points. And it also shows the passion of our young people, like just having so many people apply and having so many people on the wait list. But I did want to ask, how do most youth get into these programs? Does this ever come up when you're like in the program? Because I personally never attended, but I have people around me that have, or people that are interested in it. Can you speak maybe more on the application process for all of this?
So 2 different ways in which to be part of these programs. Our stipend-based programs, our registration is through our ActiveNet system, and it opens up a recruitment of 1 month prior to the program cycle beginning. And so that is where you have an account, you register for that specific program cycle for that location. So that is all of our stipend-based programs. If you're talking about the employment ones, as it relates to landscape and learning, and even our WIOA, those are actually going through recruitment, and a requisition is opened with our HR department. So they actually apply to become a City of Sacramento employee. So that is an application process. So 2 different ways in which for individuals to apply.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, any other commissioner comments, questions? Okay, well, yeah, I definitely will say I love the video at the beginning, the music and everything. It felt super fun. Everyone speaking looks super happy to be there, and you could just feel the community through the screen, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely saw a couple familiar faces there too. I was a part of Primetime Team before I joined the commission, so like that's how I learned about the commission in the first place. So I've always been a fan of Sacramento's youth workforce development, but also how important youth employment is in reducing youth violence and improving youth mental health. Because a lot of times over the summer, youth are at home, and sometimes they could just be on their phones or playing video games. So there's not really community in that in the same sense as when you're meeting face-to-face with new people and getting paid in the process. So that's always a great combination. But other than that, this item is received and filed, so no vote was required. But thank you once again for your presentation. Okay, we'll move on to the next item, and the next item is staff updates. Are there any staff updates?
Yes, Chair, we do have some brief updates. I do want to share that semester at City Hall Summer Edition just wrapped last week. It was really, really great. We will come back with a presentation. Staff will come back with a presentation at a next meeting to share some of the outcomes. In addition to that, there was a joint community connections day with the youth mental health focus area. That was also very much a success, and we will request that the focus area come back with a formal presentation of what they did in collaboration with city staff and in collaboration with the Semester at City Hall program summer edition. Lastly, there are some open seats in D2, seat C, D4, seat G, D6, seat K, and D7, seat M. So if you have any young people who are interested in serving on the commission within these districts and these seats, please let them know. And they'll have to do, of course, the formal application and selection process with council and the clerk's office, but we would love to have them on the commission if you know anybody. And those are all of our updates.
And then we have a comment from Commissioner Soto.
Yeah, thank you for the staff updates. The question is primarily about the open seats. Will you guys be posting on social media and stuff like that? Is there anything that we as commissioners can share to kind of get the word out that these seats are open for application?
I think we can create something for you all to share, but we would want to, of course, talk with the clerk's office to make sure that's something that is in alignment with what they have. But yeah, we can create something short for you to share.
Okay, perfect. That would be great to get the word out. Thank you.
Commissioner Jatari.
I just had a question. I just have to clarify that, for these open seats, right? I know it's preferred to have a youth from that district, but there is a chance that a youth, let's say from District 8 or any other district, there's an open seat in District 2. Can youth from other districts apply for those vacant seats as well?
Clerk, yeah, unless the clerk's office.
I want to say yes, but I don't want to give the wrong information. So what we can do is get the right answer, and then we'll get back to you guys.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
That's why I want to make sure whatever it is that we share with you all is in alignment with the clerk's office. So let us do our little bit of talking. Whatever we send you all to share, it'll be in alignment, so we're sharing the right information.
Commissioner Soto.
Yeah, so I remember our District 2 commissioner, I believe, was vice chair. Will there be an agenda item later on to have a new vice chair appointed? And if so, what's that process going to look like?
So that staff report also comes from the clerk's office. I do believe that's kind of in a standstill since you guys haven't been having many meetings. So I don't know off the top of my head how many meetings you do have left for the rest of the year, but we might start fresh next year. But again, we'll get more information on that and then see if it's necessary to.
No worries. Thank you.
Commissioner Nikita.
I just wanted to know if there was a way to also kind of speed up the process for joining the commission, because I remember that I filed my application in November of 2025, I think, and then I didn't get on until April of 2026, and that's just because of my member not having it as a priority. So I think a large reason why our seats aren't being filled is because there have been students and youth in Sacramento who have been applying for seats, but they're just overlooked by some of our members. So is there a way we can bring it to their attention as kind of a priority, if possible?
Yes, for sure. We do, as the clerk's office, we do reach out to them, but we also could encourage you guys to reach out to the members as well, just to kind of see if more voices being heard is better, so.
Thank you.
Let's see. Is there one more speaker?
Chris, did you have something?
So I want to circle back to the question about being outside of that council district. Based upon how it is written within the ordinance, you are required to live in the Sacramento city limits or attend a school in the Sacramento city limits. So you can be appointed for a seat that is outside of where you reside, but you have to apply for each of those seats in which you are applying for. So you can't just, I'm just making up, if A is open and D is open, and you only apply for D, you would not be considered for A. You have to apply for each of those seats that you are wanting to be considered for.
Thank you for the clarifying.
And also, I feel like if we know anybody who like would want to, or is in that situation, want to apply to like a district that they either don't live in or go to school in, like, I guess it's really important to do some research about that district, just a little bit, because you'll end up being interviewed by those people in that district office who know the community very well. So yeah, definitely love to have more people on the commission for sure. The next item is member comments, ideas, questions, and meeting conference report. Are there any commissioners who wish to speak? Oh, Commissioner Soto.
Hi, everyone. I can start us off with the officer reports. It's been a while since our last meeting. I think it's been June since we all got May since we all got together, and so a lot of updates have happened. Finals are over. Summer's about to end. I'm about to go into the fall semester as far as school goes. Work is also good. I got a new job. I work for DTSC now, and so I'm looking forward to maybe spending more time there and learning about the ins and outs of work. Additionally, I have picked up photography as a hobby. Yeah, I've been going out and kind of exploring Sacramento, and I feel like it's a better way to get to know people as well. Speaking of knowing people, I got to sit down and interview a photographer and an artist just out of curiosity about the work that they do, and I learned about how Sacramento impacted and influenced them when it goes to as far as what they capture and what they spotlight. And so, yeah, I've just been kind of all over the city. I've been exploring. Again, as always, if any commissioners are interested in kind of sitting down and chatting anytime, just feel free to send me a message or reach out to me in the way that you guys see best. That's as far as my officer report goes. Thank you.
Commissioner Sister Chitari.
Hi, everyone. So just to kind of give you guys updates on my end, I know summer's coming to an end, so I've also just finished my summer courses for this summer, and I am looking forward to starting in the fall again. As far as outside of my academic life, I also wanted to let you guys know that as Ms. Dominique mentioned earlier, that the Sacramento Youth Commission, the Youth Mental Health Focus Area, we finally executed our focus area project through the community partnership with Communications Day with the semester at City Hall program, and it was a success. So we're also looking forward to kind of show you guys and get into more detail about that with you all later in a future meeting. But that's it from me. Thank you.
Hey guys, I hope everybody had a great summer break. I would definitely say that it's great to be back on the seat and see all of the familiar faces. Just a little bit about me. I'm sorry that I wasn't here for the previous meetings, but I had a great trip. I went to my home country with my home family after quite a while. It was a great trip. I came back late June. I went late May. It was amazing. Got to see a lot of great things, but it was also kind of great to see just life outside of America, as well as just experience like the different cultures that they have, in Asia. And, it was really like unbelievable. Like I wish that all of you guys had the opportunity to go to different countries and, see how life is there. Cause, it's just so vastly different from America, especially our work culture, like everybody here is workaholics almost, they don't have a lot of breaks, right? But, in other countries, even though if, people don't necessarily are financially well, they're just like, so happy with what they have and, who they're with. So yeah, so thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys had a great summer and, I'm ready to back to, kick it start again.
Commissioner Ruprai.
Hello, hope y'all had a good summer. A little bit about me. Started doing more golf now, It's been pretty hot, so swimming's a must. Rowing, yeah, it's pretty cool. I recently went to Boston for a medical conference, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, baking a lot of sourdough too.
Did you? No. Okay. Yeah. Other than that, I definitely have been golfing as well. So me and you, we need to set up a tea time. But yeah, So I've been trying to do better at golf. Let's see, well, my handicap is not for discussion at the moment, but I've definitely been trying to do better. But other than that, I've been interning with the District 3 office here over the summer. So that's been really fun. I got to do a lot of like some policy work, especially surrounding like the immigration like policy that passed through the city, which was really nice to see because earlier this spring I had written an article about that immigration policy as well. So it was nice to see that, go from just something that I had written with an organization to actually like becoming city policy. So that was a really nice process to see. But yeah, I definitely think there's definitely still more work to be done. So it's nice to have been continually working with the different offices here to make sure that we're really making Sacramento a better place. Commissioner Avila?
Well, yeah, glad to be back with everybody. It has been a little while. I had a pretty busy summer, along with some usual programs I did, like Future Leaders of America, which went really great, really good camp. And then just wrapping up my internship, too, with an immigrant rights lobbyist group within the Capitol. That was a ton of fun for me just because it's what I enjoy and is what I find interesting. And then especially within the Capitol is a lot of super exciting, especially right now. And I did a lot of policy work as well, which was just super rewarding. But other than that, pretty busy summer, and I've been golfing a lot as well.
Okay, other than that, I think the last item is public comments. Matters not on the agenda. Clerk, are there any members of the public who wish to speak on public comments? Not on the agenda.
We do have one speaker that is signed up, Vanessa Marshall, but she does not appear to be in the audience. And that will complete our speakers.
Okay. So this concludes today's agenda. Thank you everyone for your participation. The meeting is adjourned.